Hello everyone and welcome to today's Talking Reds. I am Stewart, this is Rob Gutmann and this is Derby Day. I'm looking forward to this game massively. I have a feeling you are as well, Rob.
No, I'm not.
Really?
I fucking hate the Derby. I was away in my own little world thinking about how much I hate the Derby. Do you know, it's a get in, get out job. Obviously, but in terms of hating the Derby and the anxiety it brings, because, you know, you've lived in this city long enough as well, it's not a nice place if it goes against you, although it's fading in the memory.
I was going to say, it's been a while.
But you know what, we have had glimpses of it. When they cost us the league, let's give them that, by getting their amazing 0-0 draw at Goodison. The scenes as they were coming out of that ground last March or whatever it was a glimpse into the hell that could be unleashed if it doesn't go our way. Now, there's nothing better than winning a derby. There's nothing better than things going your way in a derby, but I don't anticipate them fondly. Anfield is less anxiety-making than Goodison.
I don't know, I just think that for me, again, maybe it's just the fact that I haven't been burnt or the memories of those burns have been fading. But I always think about the kind of nervousness as being part of it. It's almost like when you're preparing for a test and you know you've studied, but you're still a little bit nervous you're going to fuck it up. And then you come out the other side and you're like, how good is it? All that nerves was completely unnecessary and I'm now going to go and have a fantastic career / title.
Yeah, I feel that way about big games generally. Yeah, that's a fair. It's just this has got that extra layer of shit attached to it. Do you know what I mean? I can't be arsed with it. I'm older and longer in the tooth than you, and I've been here a bit longer than you.
Indeed.
So I do remember the times when it wasn't so pretty, and God, it was horrible.
Yeah, there weren't many Evertonians in Kent, to be fair. I mean, there was.
Well,
a
no,
couple.
I wasn't born in Liverpool either. But I came here in '85. When did you come here?
2004.
Okay, so there's a gap.
Yeah.
They were actually winning leagues and stuff.
Yeah.
That wasn't nice.
No.
But I mean, you know, it was actually. Do you know what? In a way, there was a dignity to the rivalry then, because they'd win a league, we'd win a league. There was kind of respect. So nobody absolutely went mentally and gloated.
But I think some of that historical knowledge, normally it works for you, but it might be working against you because you're remembering good Everton teams. We haven't seen one of those in a while. And I mean, if you look at the Everton team we're actually going to be facing, yes, they managed to pull a performance out of their ass last year and still didn't do enough to get them any points. But they're not a very good football team. And say what you like about our form compared to our results, we are a good football team. We are a very good football team. Like the Ballon d'Or told us that, the league table told us that, football tells us that. We shouldn't have that level of fear. And I remember when we were talking up the Man United game, it's a very similar kind of scenario. We need to respect them as opponents and rivals, but looking at the team, there's not much there. And I feel like that kind of held us back a little bit. So I'm hoping that we just go out there and just remember who they are.
And who we are. I think derbies are often settled on what version of yourself you bring.
Yeah.
I think if you look sort of before the last, Everton have been particularly poor, haven't they, the last couple of years or so. And yet, I would say they've run us that little bit closer in derbies during that period. If you go, say, the 4 or 5 years before, they had spells, like it was the year under Martinez, where they got to the fringes of the Champions League.
Yeah, finished fifth, I think.
They were okay, just in patches under Koeman. They had periods where I remember them going into derbies really quite confident. We were talking the other day about the derby where they got Gerrard's legs are gone. It's 2014, it's not that long ago. Barkley's going to make a nonsense of him. So as a result, 4-0. And that seemed, so they'd arrive at those derbies confident and it would work against them somehow. They weren't able to bring off their best. One thing Klopp made a point in yesterday's press conference against, he goes, we will get a good version of Everton. And I think there is a good version of Everton. I think they've probably seen it, maybe twice this season, a couple of games. They're likely to bring a reasonably good version of themselves, albeit from a very low base. It's just a matter of what version we counter it with, I think.
That's an interesting theory. So you're basically saying the worse Everton are,
yes, there's an inverse relationship.
The more likely they are to put up a good fight in this game is because it's basically all they've got to fight for.
I think there's a sort of desperation that gives them a platform to play off because we can't be any worse. They must look at the game. What are they? Third, fourth from bottom now. We're runaway league leaders. On paper, they're getting the worst derby pasting of their in history. On paper, that's how it should work. If it was a video game and you just applied all the factors, but I think psychologically they can work forward from that base and at least put on one of their best performances of the season. I think they were able to do that last season as well. Although, I mean, okay, the goal at the end for Origi is, you know, it's a fluke.
In fact, let's all just take a moment to remember that. Here we go. Sorry.
It was it was a fluke. I think in the context of the game they put up a good show, but I think we created more chances, should have won it anyway. But it was possibly one of their better showings of the entire season. That's worth thinking about. They were, and you could probably say similar-ish about the Goodison derby. They weren't that good, but they were able to keep us at bay.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Goodison derby had a little bit more to do with us and our kind of malaise in that game. But I take your point. It was one of their best performances, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Everton make their best performance of the season tonight. Whether it'll do them any good is another matter.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously with their most recent performance against Leicester, everyone said that was an improvement.
Exactly, it was.
They still lost.
Yeah, they still lost. I think they were they genuinely unlucky? Yeah, I think they were unlucky to lose that game. I thought that had draw written all over it.
They did seem to run out of legs though.
They did, you're right, they did run out of legs. Leicester were building that momentum. They didn't get the penalty, did they? But they got the decision in the last minute. But having said that, I would have been, if it hadn't come at the end of this sort of run where Silva will go, for fuck's sake, not another defeat, it would be seen as an encouraging performance, if not results.
So I'm going to ask you a question, but I feel like I already know the answer. I was excited when the FA Cup draw came out with another derby because I'm thinking of a scenario where we can basically get one Everton manager sacked and then get the next one out of all of the silverware that he's got a chance to win. Whereas you're probably not of that opinion. You're probably sick of him, aren't you?
Well, yeah, I'm sick. Well, I mean, that one I don't even know where to start. I'm so angry about it. One, the nonsense of our draws. There comes a point where it becomes beyond the statistical anomaly and beyond conspiracy theory, and you have to come off it, just come off it. How many Premier League draws do we have to get? And it's exacerbated by the fact that City don't get these kind of, get exactly the antithesis of these kind of draws. But the difference this time out, I think, is our agenda is to win the league and the Champions League. We have too many games. We're coming out of a massive spate of fixtures. He has to play the League Cup side, not the under 23s.
Not the Aston Villa League Cup side.
Not the Aston Villa League Cup. The Arsenal League Cup side. Well, let's put it this way. I expect we play Sheffield United on the Thursday in the league at home, and we were going to play Everton. It's going to be the Sunday. Has it been fixed at that yet?
I don't think. I imagine it will be the Sunday.
It almost has to be because of the League Cup semi-final the week after, which either of us could be involved in, or both against each other. Let's not even contemplate that for a minute, because I think I'm sure we're going out the League Cup because we are literally playing the under 23s. But I think we will make 11, a minimum 9 changes from the Sheffield United team to the FA Cup team. So, but you know what? It's a team that and they'll go full strength, but it's a team that at Anfield, where you go, well, it's Keita, Chamberlain possibly, Lallana, Origi, Shaqiri, Jadon Sancho.
Yeah. Yeah, little T. So with that in mind, obviously you're saying the league's priority, FA Cup's almost a distraction. Would you be happy to lose that game?
No, I wouldn't be happy, but I think if we're going in there with a weakened side, it's not a derby in the traditional sense of the word. Let's put it this way. We've set our stall to take the risk of going out. So you take away, I'd be a little bit more relaxed in a certain sense because we've sort of given them go on, do your worst. If you knock us out, so fucking what? We're going to win the league and European Cup. You know, that is kind of our position here. In a way, yes, they would for 5 minutes if they beat us at Anfield against a weakened side, they'd still celebrate it like it was the end of days. Oh, yeah. But after about 5 minutes, they'd calm down and go, and they just settle down with, well, we're through. At least we can have a cup.
I don't think they'd calm down. But regardless, I'm looking forward to seeing Curtis Jones nutmeg Tom Davies on the halfway line and put one in from 30 yards in the FA Cup. But we'll have to wait for that.
By the way, I'd still fancy our B team, which that would represent, our experienced B team to beat their A team.
Now, obviously, the reason I say that they would definitely celebrate if they won the FA Cup, even if it was against the B team, is they haven't won at Anfield in quite some time. I'm sure you're aware of it, but even if you aren't aware of it, watch this.
and I just got confidence. And when I played against Everton, I was so desperate to do well against them that drove me on.
You don't want to be on the losing side in Merseyside, ever.
Right away when you were down here, you were made aware how much it meant to the supporters of both sides, obviously. So the first one I played in, I thought, wow.
A derby game was the derby game, and it was massive.
Well, we always thought if you had to motivate any players for the derby match, then they're in the wrong sport.
Here we go then, the 234th Merseyside derby, Liverpool v Everton. And Everton's record at Anfield is atrocious. 21 times they've tried to beat Liverpool at Anfield, 21 times they have failed. There have been draws in there, there have been horrible games, there have been stalemates, but they've never got that victory. Imagine walking away from that ground 21 times, like some of them have done, without seeing your side win. 1999 was the last time. Kevin Campbell scored the goal. Franny Jeffers and Sander Westerveld were sent off. Think about how long that is. 20 years since they saw Everton win at Anfield. Think about what was going on. Bobby Robson had just been appointed manager of Newcastle. Chelsea were paying a record fee of 10 million quid for Chris Sutton. Only 20% of the UK population had the internet. It's a long time ago. I was only 23 years old then.
I was 17 years old.
5.
I literally weren't even born.
Very often in the build-up to these games, you've been able to say that the city is buzzing, that everyone is talking about this game, but our Blue brothers are quiet this time. They're struggling, the manager's on the verge of the sack, they're on the verge of the relegation zone. It's not good times to be a Blue. It is a good time to be a Red though. And why do we bang on about them? Why do we talk about them? Well, because we're in the same city, we're in the same bars, we're in the same workplaces, we're in the same schools, and that's why this match means a little bit more.
Now, if that doesn't get you in the mood, nothing will. And I also have to do another public service announcement, since this is something that keeps coming up every time I mention it. Yes, I am 38 years old. No, I am not 50. Genetics, you may have heard of it.
He's just a little older than me, but there's nothing in it, is there, Mo? See what I did.
So anyway, I'm drawing a line under that once and for all. But yes, very exciting game happening. Everton have not won on our ground in a long time, and hopefully that's going to be the case. Now, there was some Premier League football last night. I watched it, unfortunately. I know you watched some of it.
I gave it till 2-0 City and then fucked them off.
Yeah. But it was obviously the debut of Amazon Prime's new streaming service, the much heralded new streaming service, the new frontier of football. All reality is just something else to have to pay for. Now, there was lots of consternation about whether or not the streams would work well. They'd had trials with the US Open where it had gone terribly. But they did a last-minute deal with Verizon. They beefed up their speeds, beefed up their memory. And Rob, I didn't have any problems with the stream.
Well, I watched it in a boozer, and they were doing it via BT Sport in boozers, so there was no problem whatsoever. It just was just like watching it on any normal channel. I really couldn't see what the drama was about, apart from the fact that it's just football's on TV.
Yeah.
Although tonight, I think they're doing what they do in the Champions League and having a general go around the grounds show, which is a good idea.
It is. It's the way that Premier League football is consumed in a lot of other countries, particularly in America. So it's not necessarily a completely new model for them to roll out. It may well be a little bit more new for us, those of you who don't have Champions League, where they do the gold show, as you said, and they already have that style. Obviously, tonight's games are going to be a little bit more, there's going to be a bigger audience. Obviously, the derby, you've got Man United against Tottenham, so there's going to be more people watching it. There's going to be more chance of it going a bit wrong. I unfortunately couldn't get a ticket for tonight, so I'm going to be braving it, and I'm crossing all of my fingers. I really am.
Well, you're going to watch it at home?
Yeah. Okay. And I mean, I don't know, derbies, as much as I said I enjoy them, that nervousness means that sometimes watching them in the pub is a little bit dicey. So I think I'm going to kind of keep my powder dry and watch it at home tonight.
Yeah. What are you thinking? You might be getting a mixed environment?
Well,
pub?
there are certain pubs that I know that I've definitely red leaning, but I
Yeah.
also know there are certain pubs in my vicinity that wouldn't turn away Blues. So
That's their shame. That's
Yeah.
their eternal shame. You've got to live with themselves, but you know.
well, I'm assuming that their money is the same colour. So
Yes.
Well, before we ramble on any further, we should get into more of the admin section of the show. We've got the question. I didn't memorise the name of the person who read the question, unfortunately, but I know through the magic of technology that it's on the screen anyway, so you can read it your damn selves.
This is the bit that Pep Linders turns off, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
All right, well, apologies for that, Pep. We'll
We know
see
he
you tomorrow.
watches.
The question is, which Evertonian do you hate the most? Now, you've got a lot more scope than me.
Everton player, we mean.
Yes.
They're not people you've met in Liverpool who support Everton because there's a few.
That's a very different show.
Jesus Christ, there's a lot of them I don't like. I mean, obviously the face that straight came into my mind the minute you said that was Big Duncan. But he seems an irrelevance now, although he could be their manager by the time we play him in the cup. I don't know. I didn't like Moisey either. I don't like Moisey's face.
No.
Of their players, I forget. Who's Johnson? Who's the baldy Johnson who scored?
Johnson.
Andrew Johnson. Yeah. Didn't like his kipper either. It's not so much the players though I've had an issue with down the years as all of the people who support them.
Yes.
No offence, mates.
No, well, see, the ones who I thought of Microphone Head, but that's...
Oh, Fellaini.
Yeah, but I mean...
He's a terrible man.
Yeah, he was horrible. And every time he was on the pitch, he just felt like he was going to do something stupid and hurt one of our players, so I didn't like him.
I did not like him.
Phil Neville, obviously another Everton United one, but I didn't really vote for him because he always had such a terrible game against us. It was kind of funny. The one that really stuck in my mind, though, from the earlier days, David Unsworth.
Yeah.
God, I hated him. Because he didn't look like he should be a footballer. He looked like just some fella in the pub. But he always seemed to play really well against us. And obviously, penalty record was remarkable. So, yeah, he's my pick. Definitely.
Unsworthy, yeah.
And so when he came back and was a terrible manager, I enjoyed that immensely.
Yeah, even in the pantheon of shit Everton managers, he's probably got the lowest win percentage that's ever been achieved in their history. Quite some achievement.
Yeah, to be an Everton legend and be worse at managing Everton than Sam Allardyce, that takes some doing. So congratulations on that one. I'll tell you about what else is happening here in the world of the Anfield Wrap, because it's not all just about the derby. There's something very exciting happening after this show that Rob wants to tell you all about.
Oh yeah, we're doing one of our transfer gutter shows, which is available on our subscription service. I don't know how much a month is it now? 7 quid, 10 quid, take your pick.
You really don't know?
Yeah, I do actually. just for what though? No, it's a really, we tend to do these transfer shows in transfer windows, but occasionally we do specials. And as Liverpool have been hotly tipped to sign Jadon Sancho, maybe January, maybe next summer, we're going to do a special and talk about the rumours, talk about the likelihood of it happening, and talk about how good Jadon Sancho is. I'm very excited. Mo's going to be on the show with me.
Oh yeah, I'm going to be on the show. I may well have to be pouring a little bit of cold water on Rob just to calm him
You put
down.
on me and Jan Åge Fjørtoft, Mo.
Well, I can't reach Jan Åge Fjørtoft, so I'm going to do it on you. But yeah, it's definitely... Yeah, probably best not clip that bit. But yeah, that show will hopefully be coming out later today, so keep an eye out for that. I also wanted to tell you, as we are coming up towards Christmas, that we do have some wonderful gift cards for subscriptions to the Anfield Wrap for those of you or who have people in your family who maybe want to subscribe but never really had the chance to do so
Never had the courage.
Never had the courage.
No.
Or even the gumption. But
Desire even.
Oh no, they've had the desire, dickheads. Jesus. So
What a pitch.
We have 3-month subscriptions, we have 6-month subscriptions, we have 9-month subscriptions, all available on gift cards. If you go onto our website, you'll find all about them. They're all competitively priced, as everything we do is. Now, final word, back to the big match. You may have given predictions on other shows, but this is our show, so I want your prediction.
3-0 to the mighty Reds.
Ooh, I like the sound of that. I might actually go 3-0 as well.
Yeah, what the hell.
Yeah, so go out, enjoy the rest of today. You know you're going to enjoy tomorrow because the Reds are going to win.